Welcome back. Absolutely, Melanie. Our next guest is an ability awareness activist and entertainer.
And she has also earned international praise as the author of the children's series called Wendy on Wheels.
I love the name. Please help us welcome Angela Ruzicka. Wow, Angela, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited to dive right into the whole concept of your book and everything. And from what I understand, the concept of your book, Wendy on Wheels, came about in a dream?
It did come about in a dream after a conversation with my sister Amanda. And my sister Amanda uses a wheelchair full time because she was born with spina bifida. And I've grown up with my sister. She's 4 years younger than me, and we've always been very close. And I just remember a lot of things that were, a lot of injustices she's dealt with when she was a kid. And
Did she serve as like a consultant on the book? And
Yes, she did. Actually, it came to me in a dream after I spoke with her a while ago, and she was feeling a lot of times she feels unmotivated and kind of depressed, and she was saying that a lot of people that she knows and that she went to school with feel the same way. They just feel severely limited by their situation.
So the book is, I guess she was the inspiration. Is the book, the character Wendy is based on her?
She was inspired by my sister, yes.
Wonderful. So I have a copy of your first book, Wendy on Wheels. Now, tell us about the publishing route. How did you go about having your book published?
I wanted complete control of Wendy on Wheels and how every page in the books looks. And I mean, just because I have such a ability or, a background with my sister.
Yes.
That I really wanted to have complete control over it, because I know how, like if you look on there, it shows, in that book, it shows how Wendy climbs into a car and how she gets into a beach wheelchair. And I just had to have complete control over how every page looks, just because I have the knowledge and all of that. So I hired my own illustrator. Her name's Elizabeth Gerhardt. Hired her from University of Missouri.
It's very colorful.
Yes, it is.
Very colorful.
And I love the fact that the eyes are big, because it just draws you right into it. So people don't think of little details like that.
Elizabeth is very good. She's been wonderful.
So you've got 4 books in the series. We just saw one, Wendy on Wheels. What are the other ones?
First one's Wendy on Wheels Goes to the Beach, and that's an introductory book, and it just follows Wendy on a fun-filled day with her parents at the beach. And then the second one is Wendy on Wheels Goes to the Zoo. And that one actually I use the St. Louis Zoo as a backdrop.
Ooh.
So that one is that's my second book in the series, and you see the sculpture of the zoo. And
yeah, we had some graphics up.
And a lot of the pictures in the book were taken from photographs. Actually went with my sister around the zoo and kind of had her model as Wendy and had her, okay, I want Wendy here. And then I took pictures, and then I showed the pictures to Elizabeth, and I said, okay, we're going to put some kids in there.
Great.
Put the teacher right here. And
So what would you say your message is?
Acceptance. We just really need to accept people as they are. I don't know I've never said what Wendy's actual different ability is or what her reason is for using the wheelchair. I don't really think it's important. A lot of times you meet people, you have friends, and we don't really know what their story is or what the reason for different things that are going on with them are, and it's not really necessary.
Yes.
People are more than a diagnosis, and they're more than a chair.
Absolutely.
That's a great point.
It is a great point.
So you also have Wendy on Wheels Saves the Day. What's that all about?
Wendy on Wheels Saves the Day was my third book in the series, and that was to talk about the importance of volunteering and just really, helping others and what we can really do. We can always do something to help others, and you just kind of have to do what we can with what we have. And with Wendy on Wheels Saves the Day, it's about Wendy being motivated, really, to make people happy.
She's like a superhero.
She is.
Yeah.
She's like a superhero in her purple outfit.
Volunteers do save the day. Did you know that, Melanie?
Yes, they do.
They do. Now, you, with your sister in the book, obviously you're able to now have a platform. So tell us some of the areas you've been able to speak about and where you've been able to go to talk about this opportunity.
Well, I've been going to I visit a lot of schools, a lot of ability awareness days. A lot of schools will email me and say, we'd love for you to be a part of our Disability Awareness Day. I'm like, can we call it Ability Awareness Day? not, and then if you call it Ability Awareness Day, I'll be a part of it. So, I do a lot of school visits, and, usually when I do the Ability Awareness Days, I lead with the Wendy on Wheels Goes to the Zoo, just because it's about inclusion in schools. And the kids can really they really see about how Wendy and Brandon feel left out of the story. And then afterwards we have discussion questions. So we go over the discussion questions, and it's really great to see the kids, like the wheels turning, and then them brainstorming, coming up with ideas of how Wendy and Brandon could have been included.
Any ideas for future books?
Future books, I have some ideas, but they're not ready to be a story yet. I have a few ideas that I've seen people have given me, and a lot of people I know.
I would imagine the kids that you meet are probably great as far as feeding
Yeah.
you ideas.
Yes.
And things like
Absolutely.
that.
And what does your sister Amanda think about the whole series? And the
Amanda
opportunity?
loves Wendy on Wheels, and a lot of times she goes with me on school visits. And she goes with me, and she has a lot of fun. The kids can actually ask her questions, and
How's your
It's really
message of acceptance been received?
it's been received pretty well. I get a lot of emails from moms in the UK, and a lot of moms in the United States just say, my son just got his wheelchair, and before he was really upset about it, but now he's a lot more positive about it. So it's been really good. And then I actually had an Abilities Expo, or the workshops at the Abilities Expos, and I went to Atlanta and LA and Chicago, and I had my workshop on a workshop about bullying in my fourth book is about bullying.
And does
Okay.
Wendy save the day in that one as well?
Wendy on Wheels takes a stand in the fourth
Wendy on
one.
Wheels
I
takes a
like
stand.
it. I
There
like
is,
it.
yeah.
And
Excellent.
That one's about bullying, and actually Wendy sees a friend being bullied, and then she stands up for him, and then becomes the bully's next target,
Okay.
and then comes up with a solution for bullying. And that book has discussion questions in the back also, and a printable anti-bullying sign.
I like it. And you know what I like? The fact that all of your topics are timely and they won't ever expire. Because children will always, adults as well, go through these situations, and they can pull out your book 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years from now, and it'll still be applicable. It's wonderful.
And it's,
Bravo.
and it's amazing that no one had ever thought of writing a series of children's
I
books like
know.
this until now. But I'm
Absolutely.
so
It was
glad
meant for
did.
you.
Yeah, I think so.
Thank you so much for
glad you
coming
did.
on.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
So now let's give out your website and your information right here. 314-302-5183, and then you have the website.
Yeah, it's wendyonwheels.com. So Angela, Ruzicka, best
Yeah.
of luck to you, and we look forward to seeing and reading more of those books, more adventures on Wendy.
And then contact me for school visits. I'm setting up school visits now. I have a lot of fun with that. I'd love to
Great.
come and, share my message of acceptance and raise awareness.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank
Well,
you.
Tim, we know you're in the audience, and I know you enjoyed that interview.